So Blizzard recently went and fixed a few things with a 7.3.2 hotfix on the January 9th. They wanted to tone down boomies in terms of damage a little bit. They wanted to fix hunters, and they wanted to change up Assassination Rogues where they didn't need to spam Phantom Knives for a single target raid rotation, which is actually what was happening. Assassination Rogues was skyrocketing on the mythic charts because they were spamming Phantom Knives during single target and were doing more damage with Mutilate. The best part about this patch is there was no insert at the end which states, yeah, I know we buffed these abilities, but for PvP they're back to normal. So in a way, Assassination got buffed, Boomy got redone a little bit, and then they fixed Marksmanship Hunter. So I wanted to take a look, and I played all these 3 classes in BGs, and this is what I got. First of all, Assassination. Mutilate damage is increased by 20%. That's a nice flat buff for damage. That's more sustained damage, that is more burst damage, and I felt like I kind of felt that one, especially when I'm bursting with Vendetta. Balanced Blades artifact trait bonus increase to 4% for the critical strike of Mutilate rather than 2. That's so minor you won't really notice it, but if you are getting a little bit of crits, then I guess think Papa Blizzard. Poison Knives artifact trait is reduced to 3% instead of 4, so when you use Phantom Knives, all targets that have poison on them, the poisons are going to be not 4% of the damage when triggered, but instead 3, so 1% nerf, not a huge change. And the cake for it all, Deadly Poison trigger is increased by 15% worth of damage. And Blizzard didn't think about nerfing all of this down. So how does this translate into a simple PvP situation? Well, after playing it for a while, you don't really notice it that much, and if you're playing Assassination, you might feel, I'm getting some real lucky procs today, or maybe I have some kind of a buff on me, and I'm doing slightly more damage. I don't know how I feel, but today feels like a pretty damn good day. And of course, Assassination always had good AoE damage, and the AoE damage component isn't really being nerfed whatsoever. What they did do in the end is buff your single target damage, especially when you just decide to turn off your brain and train one target. There's a reason why Assassination Burst combo of Vendetta into Toxic Blade into a full 5 combo point in Venom into Mutilate spam is so strong. And basically what they did is made it stronger. What I mean by that is, let's say you have a target fully dotted up with a Garrote from Stealth for 125% increased damage, as well as a full Ticken Rupture. So that's 2 different bleeds, and then you might have your artifact weapon also ticking on them. Plus you add your big poison combo with Toxic Blade, Vendetta, and Venom and Mutilates, and you really have a lot of pressure. Basically what they did, and this is what I found at least from a BG, you could just do the Toxic Blade combo without the need of bleeds, and I tried it on targets without bleeds as much as I could, and the amount of damage you do is absolutely hilarious. Chances are they'll probably nerf this because this might put Assassination just a little over the top. And the only reason I say it's a little is because the PvP environment I feel like is a little bit, how you say, fragile. If you make the smallest changes within PvE, when you convert that all the scaling and all the different agilities and all the different stat templates into PvP, they might make some unintentional buffs to certain classes when they're really just trying to fix a PvE component of the game. Which is why I find this kind of buff that we got really hilarious, and whenever I'm playing around with it in a BG, the amount of damage I do and the fact that I play Rogue so much, I feel like I know a few tricks of how to take advantage of the damage, and lining up in Venom, Toxic Blade, just that poison proccing feels so good, but actually feels just a little dirty. And that's just Assassination Rogues. Then they have Boomies where they want to take away a little bit power, or in this case a lot of power, out of your dots with Wax and Wane artifact trait by nerfing it to 6% per stack. So Wax and Wane, the way it reads, and if you're a Boomy, Moonfire and Sunfire increases direct damage of Moonfire and Sunfire by 25%. So every time you apply your dots on a target, you get a stack, and eventually your dots and the ability itself does 125% extra damage. They're nerfing the stacks from 25 a stack to 6% a stack, so you're going from inherently 125% extra damage to 30% extra damage, which is a pretty big nerf. But they are buffing Lunar Strike and Solar Wrath, which I guess are abilities. I mean, I kind of do use them in the back whenever I play Boomy. I like to sit way in the back, away from the melee, away from the casters, and just spam out solo wraths. And yeah, those spells hit a little harder, especially if you empower them with your mastery. They hit for 0.5 mil, which is hilarious to just spam out a bunch of solo wraths for 0.5 mil without even incarnation being up. So I can only imagine Boomies maybe going towards a less bursty, more casty build where the damage from your Solar Wrath and Lune Strike might be doing a little bit more of an oomph. But in PvP, where just about every single melee has at least 20 stuns and 30 interrupts, I mean, your experience might vary, but if I was a Boomy, I probably wouldn't be happy about it. But I play Boomy casually, so our arena Boomies are probably gonna hurt a little more. BG Boomies are probably gonna wanna cast a little more. But at least your main concept of damage with Artifact Weapon and your Star Surges isn't nerfed, so at least you have that to look forward to. And then there's Hunters, where they fixed the issue where Sentinel wasn't able to apply Hunter's Mark if you were casting certain spells. I don't use this spell ever. I don't even play Marksman that much. I play the more fun spec Survival, but I guess that's cool. I really do think they maybe should make Sentinel a little stronger, just because I don't see Hunters use it ever, unless you're doing certain Mythic Pluses, where I guess that's cool. I don't know, you could even I could make a whole another video talking about, hey, let's make talents more than, you know, one situational, but that's just my thoughts. Anyway, before this get nerfed, go ahead and have some fun with BGs, have some fun with arenas on your Assassination Rogues. Mutilate dealing slightly more damage, you get slightly more crits for your Artifact Weapon, I guess, or from one of the traits of your Artifact Weapon, and then the Poison instant trigger damage is a little bit stronger, which for PvP overall is a buff, even though they are nerfing Poison Knife's Artifact trait, which doesn't really mean a lot since we do have Deadly Poison triggering from our Phantom Knives either way. So I guess, you know, for PvP, this shouldn't make too much of a difference, let's be honest. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this update, please go ahead and give the video a like. Liking videos allows them to reach a wider audience, which helps grow my channel, so I appreciate if you guys did that. If you guys enjoy the content, the PvP, the Battle for Azeroth updates, the PTR, the updates and discussions, please go ahead, hit subscribe if you want to see more of this. And if you want to catch our live streams, be sure to hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button in order to get notified every time we go live. And we stream every day except for Thursdays. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you in another video.